I be zooted. Keep my eyes on you, I see your movements. I gotta get to the blue, I just do it. How he get to the blue, I keep him clueless. Smoking gas on the roof, I feel zooted. Keep a bad bitch like two, I just do it.
I'm about to just get right to it. Top 10 unsettling historical facts you weren't taught in school. Man, I won't talk about anything in school. I won't talk anything. I won't talk nothing. We all know that. What did we learn from school other than how to read, how to read the English vocabulary, you feel me? And how to count numbers. That's the only thing I'll be like, all right, they taught me that. Other than that, they taught us bullshit about atoms in a leaf. We don't even know the atoms and cells like that in our body. Like we don't even know anything about our body for real. But we go to school learning about every other thing and become a worker. I don't know if they're gonna shut my video down because of this, but you know what I'm saying? You can homeschool your kids. You can't shut my video down because of that. You can homeschool them. But let's get right to it. Y'all already know all about that. Y'all already know all about that. Let's get it.
Throughout history, there have been countless creepy, sick, and obviously cruel things that have happened. Most of the time, we learn about them in history class, but what
My fault. Let's go.
about all the stuff they didn't tell you about?
Like
Well,
what?
today we are diving back into those history books to take a look at some of the most
I gotta start
unsettling
looking there
things
so
that
y'all
have
can feel
ever
me.
happened. And make sure to let me
Cause I
know
know
in the
y'all wanna
comments
feel
if
me,
you can
right?
think of
Right,
any
y'all
more
wanna feel me,
crazy
right?
historical facts.
Y'all wanna feel me.
Starting off at number
Like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that. Smash that like button. Boom. Boom. Sorry, no, I'm just playing.
10.
I be doing a little bit too much because I don't really care. But then I look at the video afterwards and be like, damn, bro, you look stupid.
Vampire killings. So starting us off, we have the supposed vampire killings from the 1800s. Now, spoiler alert here.
And the vampire killings were probably people eating flesh and drinking blood, literally. Do your research.
They weren't actually vampires. Well, I guess I don't know that for sure, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they weren't. Anyways, back in the 1800s, people in New England
weren't actually,
cadavers were
you
rising
know, it
from
was
their
just-
graves at night and preying on the living. So to solve this problem, they began exhuming the cadavers. Now, some kept it simple and just turned the cadaver face down, but others jumped to more extreme methods like ripping the bones apart and rearranging them, or burning the deceased person's heart and inhaling the smoke. Apparently, at the time, it was believed inhaling the smoke cured tuberculosis, though I can only imagine it made matters much worse for them. Some towns were so into the ritual that they would even hold festivals during the process and celebrate the exhumation.
You see the pictures, right? You don't see
destruction of the corpses altogether. So while it was incredibly unsettling, they did
imagine who they was burning.
Haunting them
Like, hold on.
night, so I guess
Imagine who they was burning.
Next up at number 9, dentures. While today dentures are made from composite resin or sometimes porcelain, during the 18th and 19th centuries, of course, those materials weren't available. But
Let's see
as
if they
you
can.
can imagine, people were still losing teeth at an even higher rate due to the high sugar diet, attempted teeth whitening, which was really just wearing away their enamel instead of brightening it, and the overall lack of knowledge around hygiene. So dentures were still needed and wanted by many. So what was their material of choice? Well, for the easiest and most profitable route, many would acquire the teeth from dead bodies. Although if you had some money, you might be able to afford dentures made from ivory.
Or
Other
slaves.
materials were sometimes the teeth of animals or wood, but honestly,
Or slaves. They don't want to say that.
sound like terribly sanitary.
I don't know if I can watch this video. Because I know it's a lot of cat. Animals and animals. Gorillas or monkeys.
Next up at number 8,
Like,
stained glass. If you walk into just about
horses,
any old church, you'll
like,
notice
no,
the walls are
people,
decorated with
black
beautiful
people, like, come on.
stained glass. But what might surprise you is that in some of the particularly
chickens.
older
Like,
pieces,
what the
there
hell?
is a
No.
strange
Black
ingredient
people,
that
not
helps it
just
all come
animals. What
together.
animal?
In 1112, a German monk wrote about the process of creating the beautifully colored glass, and as he detailed, it starts off innocently enough, adding sand and potash at a high temp until it becomes molten. From there, they'd add a stabilizer before coloring the glass with different metallic oxides like copper, cobalt, and gold. But once the glass was cooled and shaped, the small details were added by paint. They made the paint usually from lead or copper and would then suspend it in urine. So quite literally, some of those old stained glass windows were painted with pea paint, which I mean kind of just makes me giggle at.
Well, I haven't been around those in years, so I guess I'm
Coming in at
straight.
number 7, leather-bound books. Nowadays, it's unusual to even find real leather on anything, but once upon a time, the leather on books wasn't even from cows. It was from people. Called anthropodermic bibliopegy, the books were made in a similar way as they would now, but obviously with
What
one
people
huge
do
difference.
y'all
They
think
used
it
human
was?
skin
Look at the
instead
color
of
books that it is.
We work a 9 to 5, and it's not,
Just say
it's
it.
not
We're
making you happy.
my
I know it's not
African
what you want, but
American
I'm in the exact same
skin.
position I was in a few years ago. And now, at the age of
Do your
22, my
research.
life looks
Like, what in the world? I don't know if they gonna take this video down, but I'm just reacting to it. And
of an animal. While there are actually only 18 confirmed books of its kind that still exist, we have no idea just how many there could have been all those years ago. Allegedly, the books were usually made from executed convicts, and during the French Revolution, there were rumors that a tannery for human skin was established outside of Paris. I mean, it kind of gives me the willies to think about it, and I'm just glad we've moved on to a different material to bind our books today. Next
Yeah,
up,
hopefully,
at
yeah.
number 6, Minnie Dean. Wilhelmina Dean, or Minnie as she was often referred to, was a nanny in New Zealand during 1880 and was a well-known caretaker in her town. But something was off with the woman, and soon she began having quite the dark spot on her name and career. In 1889,
you could tell by the way
one
she
of the young
looked.
people
Oh
under
my
her
God.
care suddenly died, as if out of nowhere, and initially it was viewed as a freak accident, but 2 years later, the same thing happened again. Now, with 2 minors perished under her care, police decided to investigate further into the matter. After a bit of sleuthing, it was concluded that under Minnie's care, the 2 minors were as she was attempting to take out life insurance on them. Police immediately took the remaining young boy in her care, finding it in dirty clothes and drinking curdled milk. By 1895, the investigation into her crimes continued, and she was spotted trying to flee on a train with another victim in her arms. And when police searched her house, they found 3 more covered up victims. Eventually found guilty for all her crimes, she was the first and only woman ever hanged in New Zealand. Next up at number 5, radiation test subject. In 1999, a man named
Whenever.
was a power plant technician, and he became known for being exposed to the highest amount of radiation of any human in history. While working at the Tokamura nuclear power plant, after a lack of safety protocols, improper training, and just an overall pressure to meet deadlines, Uchi and his coworkers made a terrible error. They mistakenly mixed an incorrect measurement of radioactive materials into the wrong tank, and as you've probably figured out, it caused a near fatal burst of gamma rays. Hisashi, who happened to be the closest to the incident, was brutally injured and sent to the hospital. Once he was there, it was discovered he had no more white blood cells, so essentially meaning that he had no remaining immune system. And despite being in intense pain with a rapidly deteriorating condition, doctors kept him alive under the family's.
You wanna heal your cells and make newer ones and eliminate the dead and damaged ones? Fast. Look it up.
Request. So for 83
Fasting.
days, Uchi remained alive, being used as a test subject for experimental radiation treatment by the doctors.
And they use that nigga as a puppet.
Was the request of the family, but
Could never,
he endured several cardiac arrests,
ever be
all
me.
of his skin, and suffered brain damage as well as organ failure. One of the last things Uchi ever said was, quote, "I can't take it anymore. I'm not a guinea pig." And then finally, one more cardiac arrest released him from his torture. Coming in at number 4, Mumia. Most widely practiced between the 12th to the 17th century, although there were a few cases in the 18th century that pop up, mumia was widely used as a means of medicine in many European countries. Now, if you can't tell by the name, mumia is creepily just as it sounds, the use of human remains to fix a living person's ailments. It was believed by many of the top physicians at the time that
I ain't gonna cap. I feel like ancient people probably did, you know, mummies and stuff like. They probably, I'm pretty sure they did that too. So I would believe that they did it first. Honestly, as much shit that they did do, I don't really give that props to Europeans, but they probably did do it. But
certain remains prompted the medicinal power of the mummy and could cure things like coagulated blood, pain, coughs, inflammation, cramps, and even heal open wounds. Now, they didn't just sit around eating the carcass directly. Instead, they would either grind the bones into a powder and drink it from there, or drink an extracted liquid from the embalmed individual. In fact, it was so popular at one point that it's believed the reason there are so few mummies these days is because of the high demand of flesh at the time. Coming in at number 3,
because, bro, they were cannabis, bro.
Jameson,
Like,
one of the heirs to the Jameson whiskey family
they
fortune.
did all
Jameson
that.
considered himself to be an adventurer of sorts and often traveled to far-off lands, detailing the trips in his diary. In 1888, Jameson decided to head out to explore the Congo, and while there, he wrote about and demanded some gruesome things from the locals. So before beginning this expedition, Jameson discovered that the area he was visiting was known to have a population that participated in the eating of other humans. Apparently, Jameson set out to witness it.
This song
firsthand,
literally is
which, I mean, why was that?
it's literally like about them just eating people.
His
So they,
a little suspicious, if you ask me, but I digress. According to Assad Farhan, who was his translator for the trip, Jameson bought a girl from a trader of slaves for a few handkerchiefs and gave her over to the tribe to be. Allegedly, he didn't pay the tribe directly, but in a roundabout way, he did sort of pay to have.
yeah,
his
he
girl.
did.
What's even more
Like,
gross
just
is
say
that
it.
he
Like, they
proceeded
sugar.
to draw
Like, when it's slavery, they sugarcoat it. Like, he didn't really pay. Like, nigga, just say what he did, bro. He did fucked up shit. And it's,
water of the gruesome event while it happened, which again, just wrong on so many levels. Coming in at number 2, Cambodian.
and of course, she's reading a script. So, you feel me? She's reading a script. So, it's not like she's really just knowing all this. She's reading a script. So,
Barbies. You may have been taught about the Khmer Rouge in history class, but if they don't ring a bell, essentially they were an extreme communist regime in Cambodia that held government between 1975 to 1979. They were known for being extremely cruel and committed some of the most horrifying acts of genocide in history, with nearly 2 million perishing under their ruling. Now, during their radical rule, the entire country was isolated from all foreign influences. This included closing schools, hospitals, factories,
what was that,
banks,
duck?
foreign
I think I hear
agriculture.
ducks
They
or
believed this
something.
would stimulate the rebirth of the country, but of course, all it did was send it into desolate famine and poverty. Led by a man named Pol Pot, the people of the country
I don't
could
have a
not
duck.
forage
I don't
for
know
food,
where that
despite the
sound
fact
coming
that
from.
everyone was starving, and anyone who disobeyed the orders was killed. Apparently, as the people became more and more desperate, they began to turn to folk magic, turning Barbie dolls into smoking talismans for luck. Thankfully, since its dissolution in 1999, all the leaders have been jailed for their atrocities, and the people are freed from the genocidal regime. And last up, in our number 1 spot, the Rabbit Woman. Her name was Mary Toft, and in 1726, she became known throughout Surrey, England as.
My bad for stopping. I just like notice it, so I want to say it. Like they'll have like the words right in front of the camera, so it looks like they're looking at the camera, but they're just looking at the words and they're right by the camera, and they
Been the woman.
obviously though, it's not like obviously a lot of people do it. But
Rabbits. Now, I know what you're thinking. That isn't possible. And you would be right. But still, the story of how she convinced people it was real was crazy. Apparently, Toft was actually pregnant at one point, but miscarried, and it could have been this that sent her into her madness. Toft began declaring that she was giving birth to various animal parts, and so her local doctor became involved in the case. At first, everyone actually believed her, as in fact, a rabbit did, well, come out of her. And with a doctor backing up her claims, the king and his royal surgeon got involved. Unlike her local doctor, the king's surgeon was skeptical, and after discovering corn inside the stomach of one of the rabbits and hay in their droppings, it proved the animal hadn't developed inside Mary. Eventually, Mary Toft admitted to the hoax and explained that she had manually inserted the animals inside her to make the delivery as
What? So she put rabbits in her manually.
as possible. She was immediately imprisoned for
What is
fraud, and
wrong
the
with-
community was ridiculed
What is
for
wrong
having
with
been
people?
fooled. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Kennedy. If you liked this video,
Let me just this computer, man. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But we done. We're done for the day. I gotta get ready for work. It's what time is it? 8:34. I gotta get ready. 8:34 a.m. Yeah, guys. I love y'all so much. I did a video in the a.m. before work in the a.m. I'm probably gonna do it when I get back in the p.m. You know what I'm saying? And then when I post them, you're gonna see them. Yeah. They hate on me, I said F them. I don't believe them. You feel me? They need to sign me. I get the bread and then I leave them. You feel me? Yeah. Yeah, hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Smash that like button and shit. I'm not doing no effects, I'm sorry, but one day I'll be like, but yeah. Stay blessed. Pray to the Most High. Whoever your God is. You hear me? I love y'all. We out there, babe.
They say leak, you big got mills. Eat it up, I pull up, shawty, we eat it up. Smacking the money, cause I'm finna re-up. If she pull up, then you know she a sneaker. I see the calendar, say it's a weekday. And she hit me up whenever the weekend. Rockin' 2 chains, feeling like it's my B-day. Stacked up, nigga, stacked up, no bills. I'm running up, feel like I got hills.